I have the hot spring to myself again today, and I don't particularly have anything in my mind to say except that it's nice to have the hot springs to myself. Me and the birds. I want to let you get a look at my scar. Can you see it? Yeah. You know what's interesting about it? You know, the leaves are falling down everywhere. You see how it's a semicircle? Well, that is the outline of the end of my left handlebar on my bicycle. The left handlebar with the left brake, the front brake, the instrument of my undoing. Up here, I hit the pavement up here. This was the bike coming down and hitting me in the face, handlebar first. And I guess I was very, very, very lucky, right? If it came down an inch lower, I would have lost an eye. If it came down 6 inches lower, I would have lost my front teeth, which are the only teeth I have. I don't have any molars. If it had come down here, it would have crushed my windpipe, and God knows what would have happened. And it happened right in front of my landlord, who picked me up in his car and took me to the hospital right away. So I was very lucky, right? So I'll share with you something that happened this morning. I'm going to turn a little bit and get my elbows in the water. I come to the hot springs after my 20-kilometer morning bike ride. Up and down Turtle Beach, through the turtle sanctuary, through the deserted mangroves, to the disused tin mine, where I take a walk on the beach. And I pick up plastic bottles off the beach. This time of year, there's not many. The wind is pushing all the plastic trash to Sri Lanka, not to us. But in the rainy season, I can fill my backpack in about 20 yards, 20 meters of the beach. This time of year, I have to walk a little farther to find enough plastic bottles, and that's all I collect. That's the easiest stuff to recycle. So that's what I collect, is soda pop bottles. So I have to walk a little farther. I walk a couple miles up the beach, north up the beach. Dude, I am recording here. And I'm falling down in the hot water. It's very hot. When you're alone in it, it's very hot. Thank you. So I got to walk a couple miles north up the beach to get enough bottles to fill the backpack. So this morning I'm about a mile up the beach, and I'm walking along. And yes, I do smoke marijuana in the morning on the beach. I'm all alone on the beach at maybe 6:30 in the morning. And yeah, so I take a joint and I smoke. And I do it every morning, so I daydream while I do it. My mind's not really in it. I'm not really on that beach. So I'm walking along picking up bottles, and sometimes the bottles have something in them. Usually it's just old stale seawater that's seeped in under the cap. Sometimes it's God knows what. Anyway, you don't want to carry it home full of liquid, so you empty it out on the beach, and then you screw the top back on, you put it in your backpack. So I picked up this bottle that was full of some kind of black liquid, looked like. And I'm walking, and I'm unscrewing the lid, and kablam! This thing goes off with enough force to drive that little red plastic cap into the palm of my right hand and blow my right hand back. Yeah, well, I can't show you, apparently. You're back. And the smell is just horrendous. All of a sudden, I'm surrounded by this funk of rotting material. And for some reason, I've picked up a bottle of fish guts that's been, I guess it fell overboard for some reason. Some fisherman, to chum maybe, had a bottle of fish guts. It fell overboard. It's been floating around at sea under the sun, fermenting for God knows how long. And I, like an idiot, open that son of a bitch up, and it explodes. The plastic cap drives my right hand forward. I get sprayed with this black, smelly gunk all over my shirt, my shorts, my legs, and I suppose microscopically, certainly my face. So I drop it, I go in the ocean, I bathe in the ocean. I come out, and now I got to walk back to my bike and ride home in wet, sandy shorts and a wet, sandy t-shirt, but at least I don't smell like fish guts. And that bottle I threw back in the sea. I didn't take that to the recycles. So that's a little bit of that, good or bad, you know. If the bicycle fall, if this is a lucky event, God knows what tragedy I missed by opening that bottle of fish guts, right? I turned around at that point and came back to my bicycle. Maybe there was some unutterable tragedy waiting for me 50 feet further down the beach. Don't know. There's no tsunamis here. It's too deep. You know, Phuket got hammered, and Khao Lak got hammered, and Thai Muang in between the two. Not a scratch, because it's very, very deep here. All right, that's it. That's my time. I'm done. I don't know if I'll use this or not. If you see this, thank you for watching. If you've watched this far, I really do appreciate your attention. It means a lot. And I love you guys. Please do take care of yourselves. I'll see you in a week. Quick coda, if you're still watching. If you're still watching, thank you. Bless your heart. So I wanted to add this. I was talking to my friend Tien today. And Tien is Kamnan of this village, the street, the beach road here in Turtle Beach. He's the head man. And he's a Karachikan. He wears a uniform to work. He's a cog in the government machine, as I used to be. So we have a lot in common. But he grew up here on the beach. His mother still lives 2 doors down in the house Tien grew up in. His father was a fisherman, his grandfather was a fisherman, and everybody back to China from there was a tin miner. And he knows this place, and he tells me stories about when he was a kid, the turtles still came ashore, and they were as big as cars, and you could see dolphins in the morning, pods of dolphins going up the coast. Now, of course, there's nothing but styrofoam fish traps off our coast. There's really nothing in the water anymore, which keeps us safe from sharks, I guess. But he was telling me how he stayed here. His career could have taken him to government offices in other Changwats, and he could have moved up the ladder. But he stayed here in Thai Muang because his family's here, and this is the place he loves. So he was telling me, he likes to tell me why he loves this place, and I agree with everything he says. I love this place too. But he was telling me about why he thinks Thai Muang, Turtle Beach, is blessed and extra lucky. And part of it is he thinks the Vegetarian Festival and the other Chinese, Taoist, and Confucian ceremonies that are performed here by people who are still trace their descendants back to the Chinese who came to dig the tin. So the story goes, in 1991, you may remember, if you were here, I was, a dynamite truck blew up in a place called Thung Ma Prao coconut bag. Thung Ma Prao, which is about 20 minutes north of here on the way to Khao Lak. And a construction company was shipping dynamite illegally in the same vehicle with the blasting caps. And they brought it into Phuket, to the port in Phuket, because bringing it into Bangkok would have been more highly scrutinized. And so they were transporting dynamite illegally. And their truck got as far as Thung Ma Prao, there's a curve in the road there. And it fell over on its side and blocked traffic, and traffic backed up. It was a 2-lane highway, still is. And nobody could get around this obstruction, so they all waited, and they were going to bring a crane in and move this truck. And the story goes, a policeman dropped a cigarette butt in a pool of gasoline. I think that's probably apocryphal. That has more to do with people's feelings about the police than what actually happened. Nobody who would have been close enough to see that lived. That truck went up, dug a crater 10 feet deep, killed 250 people in a moment, vaporized most of them instantly, including anybody who might have seen if somebody dropped a cigarette butt. There was a Chinese tour bus, one of these double-decker tour buses, been right behind the dynamite truck, and it was stopped right next to the wreck, and nothing was ever found of that bus except the engine block about a quarter-mile away. 250 people killed instantly. Men, women, children, the entire town, little town of Tung Maprao, wiped off the map. And then you have a ring of falling cinder blocks, right? 1,000 people injured around the blast zone. Tung Maprao didn't have a hospital, so most of 90% of the injured were brought to our hospital in Thai Muang. And for 3 or 4 days, every doctor and nurse in the province came and volunteered. Local people brought their phones so that survivors could call their families. They brought food to the hospital. There's no cafeterias in Thai hospitals, for the most part, government hospitals. And you know, the town of Thai Muang, the 10,000 or so souls here, pitched in for 4 days and provided succor and comfort to the survivors from the town that no longer existed 10 minutes up the road. So we jump ahead to 2004, Boxing Day. There's a tsunami. Hammers, Phuket. Thousands died. Hammers, Khao Lak. Thousands died. Many, many thousands more are injured, mostly by floating debris. A lot of leg injuries, people trying to walk out of the zone, and they step on, you know, glass or metal or live wires or whatever. Lots and lots of injured people. Again, they were brought to our hospital in Thai Muang. There was no damage here. The local golf course, the Aquella, had 6 inches or so of salty sand dumped on 3 of its fairways, and they had to resod their fairways. That was it. There was not a single death. As far as I've heard, there were no injuries. The water was ankle deep coming over the berm here at the beach, and petered out before it ever hit the beach road, before it ever hit anybody's house. Everybody says that Thai Muang was spared because of the merit they had made, the good karma they had earned from treating all of those injured people from the dynamite truck blast in '91. Well, now, the karma they earned on Boxing Day, if we assume they burned up all their good karma by avoiding any injuries in the tsunami, they earned more good karma by doing the same thing. Everybody came out, everybody volunteered, everybody brought their phone to the hospital, everybody brought food to the hospital. They opened up their homes to their neighbors and to random Falang. There were thousands of Falang injured, separated, lost, don't speak Thai, we don't speak Finnish, but eat, right? That kind of thing. Here's some clothes, you know. They did that for days after the event. And now they have built up another massive store of good karma. And COVID came along, and you know, maybe a third of the shops in our business district, which is about 4 blocks of the main street, about a third of those shops have been shuttered since I got here. People have moved back in with their families. People who used to work at hotels, people who used to work at commercial laundries that service the hotels, people that used to work in the fish market where the hotels and restaurants came and bought their fish, the fishermen who caught those fish. Everybody's been starving for 3 years, right? But boy, in the last month, bam, I see lots of Falang every day here in Turtle Beach, in Thai Muang. And I'm torn, I'm conflicted. I came here specifically because I didn't want to see Falang. But on the other hand, I know that's part of that good karma coming back to the people in this town. They got jobs now. I see it, you know, this beach is where the locals come on a Sunday night. and Sindud, the end of the month when everybody gets paid. They come, and this time of year they buy their kids kites, right? This is the kite season. If you live on the coast, the Andaman coast, this time of year, every 100 meters down every highway, there's some guy selling kites because the wind is offshore in the evenings, and your kite won't get caught in the casuarina trees. It'll go out over the sea, and they're beautiful. They're beautiful in the evening. You see 7 or 8 kites of different colors out there flying over the ocean off the beach. It's really stunning. Anyway, this is where Thai people come. And it's been very depressed since I got here. Shuttered restaurants. There's a bit of the beach road where Samlaws will park. And there used to be 10 on a Sunday night when I got here 8 months ago. And now there's 50, easily 50, selling everything in the world. And there are people there buying it. There are people there spending money. And this high season is going to be great for Thai Muang. And I'm glad for them, you know. They've earned it. And I hope they enjoy it. I am. It's not what I expected when I came here. I've never been here in the high season. You know, it did not occur to me when I came here after 20 years of planning. I was coming at the beginning of the rainy season in the last year of 3 years of COVID. Not only was it not part of the plan, until I got here, I had no idea what I was walking into. All right, that's really it this time. Thank you again for your attention. I love you all. Like, subscribe, share. See you next week. A Boontong's video next week. I like this one very much. I'm enjoying the hell out of making this one. See you next week.